Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Over the last 24 hours, one moment has completely taken over the WNBA conversation, and it's the incident involving Alyssa Thomas and Caitlin Clark. While everyone is focused on the suspension and the physical play itself, I think there's an even bigger issue that deserves attention moving forward. Yes, Alyssa Thomas pressing her closed fist against Caitlin Clark's neck was completely unacceptable. The WNBA reviewed the play, upgraded it to a flagrant 2 foul, and suspended Thomas for 1 game. Given what happened, the league really had no choice but to take disciplinary action, and that decision immediately sparked intense debate across social media. At the same time, it's important to keep the discussion grounded in reality. Some people are acting as if Caitlin Clark experiences this exact type of incident every single game, but that's simply not accurate. Basketball is an extremely physical sport, and while Clark often receives tough defensive attention, moments this extreme have been relatively rare during her WNBA career. Fans still remember the Chennedy Carter hip check in 2024 and the Marina Mabrey shove in 2025. Even Marina Mabrey later admitted that her actions crossed the line. Those incidents generated major headlines because they were unusual, not because they happen every night. Caitlin Clark competes with passion, plays aggressively, and never backs down, which naturally creates intense matchups. That's part of what makes her such a special player. However, this latest controversy has once again raised questions about player safety, officiating, and how the league handles dangerous plays before they escalate. As the conversation continues, social media has exploded with reactions from basketball analysts, news outlets, former players, and sports personalities, all sharing their opinions on Alyssa Thomas's hit on Caitlin Clark. So, now let's take a look at some of the biggest reactions and see what everyone is saying.
If I were Caitlin Clark, I would seriously consider going to play overseas somewhere and get the royal treatment and get real money.
From the Saudis?
From somewhere. I mean, there's international.
She can't go to the Saudis.
Well, she can't go to the Russians either, as we saw that, Brittany Griner got stuck there.
She did. Well, yeah, in jail.
Right. So
can't take that money from PIF.
But a lot of the women actually do play, in European leagues because they supplement their income. But now supposedly their income is going up here, and I know that Caitlin makes a ton of money off the court in terms of endorsements, and rightfully so. But I think that there's a petty jealousy, and she's a straight white basketball player, and she is not being treated with any sort of respect whatsoever.
So that poster...
Man, I'm not going to overreact over one little incident, but if you keep this stuff, there won't be no WNBA.
Oh, wow.
That's the non-overreaction.
Yo, if Caitlin Clark said, you know what, man, I'm done, y'all. I'm going to take my rich, successful self somewhere else, it would be a wrap. What would they do? What would they do? If Caitlin Clark said, you know what, today I'm done with the WNBA, where would the WNBA be? It'll be over. Fans, you know how it goes when she don't play. Attendance drops, viewership drops, money gonna drop. All I'm saying is, when Michael Jordan was the man, the NBA made sure, all right, we can't be doing the Pistons, y'all can't be doing it to him no more. Give me another star, LeBron. Right, they made this whole big thing about him going to different teams, all that. Oh, it's the king. Let's put that shit underneath the rug. So when you got a star player like that, I go even better. Quarterbacks in the NFL, they hurt Tom Brady's knee. Oh, from now on, no more. You can't tie the quarterback by their knees. That's dead, bro. If you don't take care of the young GOAT, what the hell is gonna happen to the WNBA?
Let's go again to the things that aren't asked.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now that we know that is the official song. Hey, I like that.
Here we go again.
Sophie Cunningham, obviously sticking up for her teammate, has become a meme, a sensation, and also a perfect response. You lady, you former player of this favorite team, starting a little bit of shit here. I just want to let you know I got you. There's alternate versions or angles of this. Is what boom, has become a meme all over the internet. Sophie Cunningham, also not only a star of the Indiana Fever, brought in to potentially protect Caitlin Clark, which is another big storyline today.
Yes, it is.
As Stephanie White, head coach of the Fever, has come out and said she's sick of it, which we certainly appreciate all of that. Sophie also on the 30 poster from WNBA.
Yeah.
Okay? Everybody's super pumped about that. I'm pumped for Sophie. We appreciate Sophie. We are big fans of Sophie around here. Her being on the poster, nobody's happy about it.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily.
What's that all about? Why is everybody not happy about Sophie?
I'm okay with Sophie.
We like Sophie.
Love Sophie.
There was an admission.
Yeah, I mean,
couple of them, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we don't need to keep doing it because this is all we talk about when it comes to W, which I think in part is why Caitlin Clark is, getting her throat punched every night and getting her hair pulled and getting thrown down and shit like that. But she should be on this fucking thing. I mean, let's call a spade here, okay? She should be on the little poster that they're trying to sell.
The little poster, it's a history poster. Don't have Diane Taurasi on there.
Yeah.
Okay, which feels like a pretty big name in the history of women's
Yeah.
sports.
I don't see Rebecca Lobo.
Okay, Sophie Cunningham is on there. We are happy for Sophie. We're happy for all the athletes that are on here. But yeah, the Caitlin Clark omission stuff with everything that else is happening, it feels stupid.
Feels intentional almost.
Yeah, but it feels stupid too. Like, hey, come on. Let's not be dumb here. Okay, we live here in Indianapolis. This lady, Caitlin Clark, has changed our economy here, changed the buildings, changed downtown. Let's continue to build on that. Let's not are we throat punching?
Feels like it.
Kind of feels like they can do whatever they want.
No call.
At all. Coming from the top. It's coming from the league.
Not coming from Kathy.
I don't like it, Riley. That is ass. But you know what isn't ass? This one right here.
Yep.
You, lady.
Would you rather be on the poster or the scoreboard? You know what I mean?
Scoreboard.
That's right.
But she's always on the scoreboard, though.
Win the game.
So she should be on the poster, too.
You would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think so, too. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Is there a song about that in the new album? I think so. I fucking think so.
Well, thank y'all for tuning in today.
What's bothering you the most, Stacy?
Hey, Dan. It's good to see you. Listen, I'm a sports fan. Yesterday, I listened to the Cubs beat the Mets in back-to-back games. I watched the Canadian team lose to Switzerland in the World Cup because I'm originally from Canada. And I always watch the Fever. And I watch them consistently. And I watch the WNBA consistently. I think it's a good product. And what I saw last night with these two teams tangling in back-to-back games, because it got heated 3 days ago when I watched it, was absolutely unacceptable, egregious. Stephanie White used the word. And just unfortunate that, a situation, two situations could go untethered, if you will. And the result was the result.
How did we get here?
I don't know how to answer this. All I can tell you is there's a lot of good players in WNBA. For instance, if you're not watching Olivia Miles in Minnesota right now, you're missing something special. She's extraordinary. And Caitlin Clark is extraordinary. I played against Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops. Caitlin does things. She's really hard to guard, Dan, and she's really hard to officiate. For instance, the closeout, the illegal closeout, where the player didn't have the landing space appropriate, that should have been upgraded to a flagrant 1. It was unnecessary contact, but she did step into the landing space. When a player shoots it from the logo with a gather step, like Caitlin does, there's not a lot of players that do that. Now, Kelsey Mitchell, her teammate, does it extraordinarily well. There's a few players that do it well. She's mastered it. So it's hard to defend her, which is the result. You get these flagrant 1 type calls, which wasn't called. So, and that was after the Alyssa Thomas, who is an incredibly skilled player. She's really a good player, Dan. But she gets away with stuff. And we have to be real careful when we watch sports now, because slow motion, X, Twitter, social media, it makes it look distorted. But I watched it real time, and I watched it and reposted it. And any time, the whole element of these new flagrant 1 calls, like if you're going up for a layup and somebody accidentally cracks you in the face, it's a flagrant foul and a technical 2 shots. Because it's player safety. And Stephanie White said it. I don't need to say it. It was dangerous to put your fist on somebody's neck, whether it was forceful, Dan, or it was a tap. It's on the neck, and then a knee to the groin. So you got the neck, the throat shot, the groin shot, and the ball was going the other direction. That ain't a loose ball foul. Or actually, it is a loose ball foul, but that ain't a loose ball like thing you avoid. You know what I'm saying? You avoid. So that should be a loose ball foul. It should have been upgraded to a flagrant 2, in my opinion. And Alyssa Thomas had a similar, different situation, but with Angel Reese 2 years ago, where she did get the flagrant 2.
Yeah, but the NBA can officiate Steph Curry. Why can't the WNBA officiate Caitlin Clark?
I don't know how to answer that. Like 3 nights ago when these two teams played, Dan, I tweeted the same thing. I think there is a real element of like when she does this all the time, like that annoys officials, having played for a very long time. Like they don't want to be stood up. They don't want to be called out consistently. And I kind of liken it to, you know, when you were a kid and your sibling and you got in fights all the time and your mom she stopped calling fouls. And the one kid kept crying, like that was me and my brother. And, you know, there's only so much as a parent you can parent. And I think there's only so much you can call. And listen, there's a lot of good players in the WNBA. I'm tuning in to see A'ja Wilson anytime she's on. She's extraordinary. Not unlike the way I watch the NBA. When a player I love, I tune in to see it. I'm a sports fan. The league, Kathy Engelbert has an opportunity today to set a precedent. I mean, the NFL set a precedent by not holding a supplemental draft for Brendan Sorsby. You're not going to walk in after some of the gambling issues you've had historically and play in the league right away. Kathy Engelbert has an opportunity today to rectify this and make a statement, and we'll see if she does.
They just keep driving into a wall at full speed with Caitlin Clark. They now have a commemorative poster of 30 years of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's not on it. And it's not just like an ode to the veterans that started the league. Paige Beckers and Angel Reese are on it. And Caitlin Clark's not. You guys, when she broke into the league, you moved her road games to bigger arenas to accommodate the fans. You were flying the last 6 rows of Southwest Airlines until she made such an impact, you transitioned, pivoted to private jets. And she's not on the 30-year poster. But Paige Beckers and Angel Reese are. What? I mean, recently there were TV games. Hers got double the rating of A'ja Wilson, the best player in the league, the 3-time champ and the 4-time MVP. Double the rating. This is a paranoid, weird, insular league. And everybody, I mean, older golfers were a little annoyed and irritated when young Tiger Woods got all the love and all the coverage. But about, a couple of months later, they went like, hey, wait, the purses have gone up. We're all getting richer. And they got over it. They got over the Tiger thing pretty quickly. WNBA can't get over this. And people are very critical of commissioners. I'm not. I think Goodell's A++. I think Rob Manfred's been on a 3-4 year heater, and Adam Silver got $77 billion in the TV deal. Guy's brilliant. But Kathy Engelbert, what are you doing? I mean, you're not heavily promoting her to the Olympics. I mean, you should have been totally outraged for the game. You can't put her on the 30-year poster. The officiating's awful and way too physical. Way too physical. The NBA allows physicality in the finals when the season's at the very end. But they want to keep their players healthy for the regular season and early rounds of the playoffs. Why hurt your content? Adam Silver in the league now. You get to the finals, that's a man's game. Wemby, good luck. WNBA regular season is officiated like UFC. There's no eye gouging, but almost everything else. So, and she didn't have great communications with players, according to players. So last night, Caitlin Clark, there's a hand to her throat. Nothing's called.
In response to the viral video of Caitlin Clark and Alyssa Thomas being tied up on the ground, the WNBA has decided to suspend Alyssa Thomas and give her a flagrant 2 foul. In typical WNBA fashion, not even listening to what the issues are, just pacifying the audience. You did this retroactively to maybe silence the crowd because you knew that Caitlin Clark fans were going to be angry about it, but it still doesn't fix the consistency issue with calling the games. The refs are not consistently calling fouls, acknowledging fouls, having a review process. What we need is a plan, WNBA. It's happening to other teams. It's happening to other players. And instead of just responding because this video went viral, it would make sense for you to say, hey, we are going to have a State of the Union with the refs. We are going to have a special press conference to talk about our review process. We are going to enact ABC kind of rule, but they don't have no plan. They like, we just gonna let everybody fight it out until something happens, then we will be reactive, which we've seen year after year after year in the WNBA. For those of y'all that are new here.
So I spent 30 years on the sidelines of the biggest stages in American and international sports, including the NBA and WNBA. Now, I've seen hard fouls. I've seen things get out of control, but I have not seen anything like what happened to Caitlin Clark this week. She was kneed, pinched, took a fist to the throat, and then an attempt to stomp on her. Okay, so that's not basketball. That's a targeted assault. And everyone watching knows it. Now, the WNBA finally suspended the player involved, and that's fine. That's the minimum. But this isn't like the first time this has happened. This is a pattern. There is a target on Caitlin Clark's back, and the league that owes its entire cultural moment to her has been far too slow to protect her. Caitlin Clark dragged an entire sport back into the national, I would say international conversation. She has filled in arenas. She has brought in millions of new fans. Now, I spent my career fighting to be taken seriously in rooms where some people weren't sure I belonged. I know what it looks like when an institution protects itself instead of the person making it better. WNBA, please make a decision. Are you going to protect your players or keep looking the other way while your biggest star gets targeted week after week? You don't just protect her because it's the right thing to do, but it is the right thing to do. You protect her because you owe her. And by the way, why was she left off the 30th anniversary poster? I covered the league, the WNBA, in its first season and a couple seasons thereafter. And I must say that this doesn't have to do with her inexperience or her youth, because Paige Beckers and Angel Reese are in the poster, and I don't begrudge them for that. But why not Caitlin Clark? Just like you left her off the Olympic team, now you're leaving her off the poster. Are you mad because she has State Farm commercials? She's lifting every one of you because of her success. When is this going to stop? When are people going to be big enough and have the character to say, hey, maybe it's because of Caitlin that we're all having more success, that we're all getting paid more? I don't know what it's going to take, but Caitlin, a lot of us have your back, and I'm one of them.
Caitlin Clark got to fight one of these women. She has to fight one of these women. I say this with a straight face because, Caitlin, eventually, if you fight somebody, now they will know the next time they try you, they are going to have to fight. You might lose, but they're not going to want to fight you every single time. And the fact of the matter is, they treat you like a roach that's intruded into their house. And a roach that steps into your house, you step on. That's what the hell you do to Roach. And right now, Caitlin Clark, the WNBA athletes, they treat you like an insect. They just flick you around, they step on you, they shoot you around, they whoop you into the dustpan, open the window, and throw you the hell out. And then you got all these different individuals, all these men trying to cape for you. Fight one of these women and then see what happens. But the fact of the matter is, if you let one of these women know, hey, bruh, I'm not the one, then they are not going to continue to try you. I'm not even saying fight them because you Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee. I'm just saying let somebody know, if you try me, we gonna have to tussle. That's it. Because here's the thing here, what not enough people realize is the bully is only the bully until they get tried. Once you try a bully, you really expose them for who the hell they truly are. And everybody's bullying Caitlin Clark because she comes off as soft, she comes off as weak, she comes off as a brat, she comes off as too pompous, she comes off as like a weak little toddler. Show up, grow up, and let them know stop trying you, please.
You cannot put out a promotional poster celebrating the 30 years of the WNBA and there's no Caitlin Clark on it. And I'm saying to myself, I know I can't name half the women there. Guilty as charged. I am not a fan of it. I will never watch it. I don't care about it. But I do know who Caitlin Clark is. And for you to celebrate the 30 years of your sport that nobody has ever cared about until Caitlin Clark became a professional and not put her face, you're either brain dead, stupid, or you hate her.
She is the most famous player. You can't put one of her teammates on the poster, which they did.
Did they?
And not put her on the poster.
Like it actually bothers me, because I can't figure out why.
You're not the NBA. You don't have an 11-year, $77 billion contract. You are building the league. You just reached an incredible collective bargaining agreement. You understand they did a great job with that. The league is growing, and it's reaching some of its aspirations, no doubt, but there's still a lot more work to be done. Don't get in the way of the cash cow. You don't sit up there and pave a way for her and don't compete. Nobody's implying that. But you certainly ride that tidal wave of popularity and use it to your advantage to build the game, not compromise and hurt the game by taking her out whenever you get the opportunity to do so. That's not smart. That's not smart at all.
If you follow the WNBA, you no doubt have heard about the punishment Alyssa Thomas was assessed for her activity against Caitlin Clark in the Fever Mercury game on Wednesday nights. You know that she was assessed a flagrant 2 and also suspended for 1 game. Not enough of a punishment for me at all. And I think that the punishment is about as egregious as what AT did. Having said that, though, if the officials called nothing and then the league assesses Alyssa Thomas a flagrant 2, well, we know that had she been assessed a flagrant 2 during the game, she would have been ejected from the game. I don't know if this will ever be the case in this league, but I am going to be on record as saying if you should have been ejected and you were not, every single point you scored after that situation should be removed, gone. Because if you weren't there, you wouldn't be scoring those points. And so I think maybe they will start to get some things right that they're missing if there were steeper consequences. Maybe fine the officials, and you who didn't get kicked out of the game, every point you scored, gone, we count it up, and that's the final score. And of course, in this case, Indiana would have won the game. So not steep enough at all. And I think we need to look at these rules. How are you going to stay in a game, score points, and then it's so easy the next day, oh yeah, she should have been kicked out, but nothing changes. No, everything you scored, gone, nothing. It doesn't count because you should have been out of there. That's how I mean, again, as I said last night, some people might think I'm being hyperbolic. I am so serious You have to take these kinds of things seriously, especially when you're dealing with a fist to the throat and knees to the groin and all this stuff. So I think that those points should not count. And maybe I'm by myself on that, but that's how I feel about it.